24/7 for the entire United States by going to the weather button at tinyurl.com/Gunther's House or my website at tinyurl.com/GuntherMobile. Take a look at the Kirksville, Missouri area weather forecast, and looks like we'll see cloudy skies for today. Chance of showers mainly after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Widespread frost has lifted. So far, just areas of intermittent frost have been reported. Otherwise, we'll see variably sunny skies with highs in the mid-40s. West to northwesterly winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, that chance for precipitation is 40% today. Precipitation amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch are possible. For tonight, a slight chance of showers, mainly before 10 o'clock. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, lows around freezing. West to northwesterly winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tomorrow, sunny skies for Thursday. Highs once again in the mid-40s. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour, with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. For Thursday night, widespread frost after 1 a.m. Otherwise, mostly clear, lows around 25. West to northwesterly winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for Friday, clear skies with areas of widespread frost, mainly before 9 a.m. Otherwise sunny, highs in the upper 40s to lower 50s. West to northwesterly winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then for Friday night, mostly clear skies, lows in the mid-30s. Sunny skies Saturday, high in the upper 50s, lows in the lower 30s. A little bit cooler on Sunday, highs in the mid-50s, lows around 40. Cloudy skies for Monday, a 30% chance of showers, highs in the low 60s, with a better chance of rain for Monday night, lows in the mid-40s. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Tuesday, highs in the upper 50s, with a 60% chance for precipitation. And that, my friends, is a complete look at the weather forecast for this Wednesday. Still to come, in a few minutes, we'll have the CBS World News Roundup for you, 8 p.m. Market Radio News, as well as Today in History, celebrity birthdays right after the Composer's Datebook, and the Writer's Almanac coming up next. You're listening to First Cup.
Log of the Starship Enterprise, stardate 5943.7.
Captain Kirk, this is Lieutenant Uhura. Mr. Spock is ready to patch in. Go ahead, Mr. Spock.
I'm on the surface of the destroyed barbarian planet now, Captain.
Destroyed? What do you see, Mr. Spock?
The surviving inhabitants are in a dreadful condition. It seems they can't control their limbs, and their minds are dull and useless. Fascinating. They seem to be in a state identical to that curious 20th century Earth disease called hard drug abuse. I suspect it has destroyed all meaningful life on this wretched planet.
A tragic find, Mr. Spock.
As a Vulcan, I find the need for hard drugs to be totally illogical.
But as a half-human, Spock, surely you can appreciate the suffering that hard drug abuse causes. We can only hope that other civilizations will not make the same mistake.
Learn more now, earn more later. That's a motto CBS Radio wishes every college student would paste inside his or her wallet. A lot of those collegiate wallets are a good deal fatter than usual these days, thanks to summertime jobs. And as a result, quite a few young men and women are finding themselves tempted to forget about school this fall and keep on with that job. This isn't such a smart idea as it may seem. It's a plain and simple fact that dropouts from college are less likely to find and keep better-paying jobs. Quit school before you finished, and you're not only cutting down on your chances for a really good job, you're also throwing away thousands of dollars of possible future income. Finish college, get all the education possible, and your lifetime income is many thousands of dollars higher. America needs well-educated young men and women, and the rewards are sure. So if you're wavering now that school's about to open, don't decide against your future. Go back. And remember, learn more now, earn more later.
I'll have more of First Cup coming up in just a moment, but I want to thank Chris Mayer at Wishing Stars Native Creations for this program, and I want you to check out the latest accessory pieces at Wishing Stars Native Creations, and look for that link by going to the Friends page at tinyurl.com/Gunther's House. That's good on your PC, Mac, or Linux computer. Again, that's tinyurl.com/Gunther's House, or tinyurl.com/Gunther Mobile on your smartphone, whether it's an Android, iOS, Windows Phone, or tablet computer.
When severe weather strikes, schools, government buildings, and even Social Security offices may be closed. The place to go to find out about emergency closings is www.socialsecurity.gov/emergency. Social Security's Office Closings and Emergency Information page provides what you need to know about specific offices that are closed due to weather and emergencies, as well as reminders about upcoming federal holidays during which government offices are closed. Select the Get Email Updates link next to the red envelope to receive emails alerting you to emergencies and closings affecting Social Security. Keep in mind that when the weather outside is frightful, using our online services can be so delightful at www.socialsecurity.gov.
And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday. It's the 23rd of October, 2013. It's the birthday of two doctors who became writers. Poet Robert Bridges, born in Kent, England, 1844, a doctor at numerous hospitals in London, author of many poems, plays. And Michael Crichton, born Chicago, 1942, author of Jurassic Park, State of Fear, and creator of the TV series ER. It was on this day, 1978, The Stories of John Cheever was published, which won the Pulitzer Prize and the National Book Award that year, and became one of the few collections of short stories ever to make the New York Times bestseller list. Cheever died just 4 years after the book came out. And it was on this day in 1920, the novel Main Street by Sinclair Lewis was published. He had been thinking about writing a novel about small-town life for many years. He was going to make the main character a lawyer. He wrote 20,000 words, but didn't like it and threw it out. And then, in 1916, he brought his wife, Gracie, on a visit to Sauk Center, Minnesota, his hometown. They stayed with his parents. And he was embarrassed, he cringed to see the interactions between his parents in the town and his well-educated wife from New York City. And so he decided to redo the novel as a book about a young city woman who comes to a small town as the bride of the local doctor. He started writing it in November 1919, wrote his first draft, 221,000 words, in just about 3 months. He kept revising. He cut out all but a few pages of the first 30,000 words of the novel, sent it off to his publisher, Harcourt Brace. They did a final edit, and the book, which had been entitled The Village Virus, was retitled Main Street, and it came out on this day in 1920. Lewis's previous books had not sold very well, but he was hoping to sell 25,000 copies. They met that goal by November, and within a few years, Main Street had sold 2 million copies. The Pulitzer Prize Committee recommended Main Street, but the trustees of Columbia University vetoed that, and instead gave the prize to Edith Wharton for her book Age of Innocence. 2 years later, the same thing happened with Lewis's next novel, Babbitt. The committee voted to give him the Pulitzer and was overruled by the trustees. 3 years later, he was offered the Pulitzer Prize for Arrowsmith, but refused it. But in 1930, he became the first American to win the Nobel Prize, and he accepted that. Here's a poem for today by Haley Lighthouser. The Old Woman Gets Drunk with the Moon. The moon is rising everywhere. The moon's my favorite easy chair, my tin pot top, my green plum tree, my brassy buttoned cavalry tap dancing up a crystal stair. Oh, watch them pitch and take the air, like shoe-fly pies and signal flares, like clotted cream and bumblebees, the moons are rising. How hits the spot, how debonair, what swooned balloons of savoir-faire, what purr of rain-blurred bright marquees that linger late, that wait for me, who will someday rest my cold bones there in moons that rise up everywhere. Haley Lighthouser's poem, The Old Woman Gets Drunk with the Moon, from her collection Swoop, published by Grey Wolf Press and used by permission here on The Writer's Almanac, supported by the Poetry Foundation, publisher of Poetry Magazine, committed to discovering great poets and printing their verse. Back issues and subscriptions available at poetryfoundation.org. Engineered by Noah Smith, produced by Joy Biles. Be well, do good work, keep in touch.
This is the Composer's Datebook for October 23rd. I'm John Zach. On today's date in 1913, composer Frederick Delius was in Leipzig for the first performances of two orchestral works destined to become among his most popular pieces. These were On Hearing the First Cuckoo in Spring and Summer Night on the River, both premiered by the Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra, led by the most famous conductor of that time, the legendary Arthur Nikisch. In a letter to his wife, Delius reported that the orchestra was splendid. As for Nikisch, Delius had this to say. He played the first piece, Spring, much too slow but very expressively. The second piece, Summer Night, he played most beautifully, perfect. "86 years later, on October 23, 1997, another atmospheric orchestra work received its first performance when conductor Zdeněk Makal led the New Jersey Symphony in the two-movement symphony Celestial Night. Its composer, Richard Daniel Poor of New York, said, "Part of the inspiration for Celestial Night came to me while stargazing in New Hampshire and reflecting on the contrast inherent in my life between summers in rural places, where all the driven, frenetic life I lead in New York City is temporarily suspended, and I have a period of peace, and the possibility of personal transformation. There must be a moment of the aha, of discovering something beyond one's own immediate environment or experience in order to grow." For more epiphanies in music, go to our website, composersdatebook.org. Composer's Datebook is a production of APM, American Public Media, and the American Composers Forum, reminding you that all music was once new.
Back to Studio 4 on this Wednesday, the 23rd day of October, 2013. And glad you decided to stop by. Excuse me. For a second pod edition of this program. And coming up in just a moment, we'll go back in time for this date in history. But right now, speaking of history, it's time for celebrity birthdays.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you? Other people have birthdays. Why are we treating yours like a funeral?
Bones, I don't want to be lectured.
Very, very many happy reasons.
And take a look at celebrity birthdays today. Before I run down that list, I wish to remind you that if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. And you share your birthdays with these famous people. They have quite a list today. They include Baseball Hall of Famer and former U.S. Senator Jim Bunning, Republican from Kentucky. He's 82 today. Movie director Philip Kaufman is 77. Soccer great Pele is 73. Rhythm and blues singer Barbara Ann Hawkins of the Dixie Cups is 70. ABC News investigative reporter Brian Ross is 65.